It's been amazing. So, Rick, what is your thoughts? Yeah, let's go back on what's your thought with the whole real estate market with whatever it is going on right now. I love to hear your opinion.
Okay, so this is just my opinion. So, and based on it from a banker's perspective, is so we've now hit this aggressive rising interest rate environment, and rates have not risen in over 10 years. So basically, rates have been flat for 10 years, and that's allowed the real estate properties based on demand to go up double digit a year. Like you buy a house for 100,000, and guess what? Now it's worth, in 1 year later, it's worth 150. Or you multiply that by whatever you bought the house for. And in some cases, houses doubled in like 3 to 4 years in value. It's been a wild ride. What's going to happen is with rates going up, and even though there's still demand and pressure, slowly housing appreciation is going to get more down to maybe a 5 to 6% annual increase in a year. So if you bought $100,000 house, a year later it'd be worth 106. And so instead of being able to buy a house and sell it in 3 years and have this big windfall of cash, you're probably going to buy it, and 3 years later you're going to sell it, and it's going to be just enough to pay all the real estate commissions, get your original down payment back, plus maybe a little bit to buy the next house. So I think that we're looking at going into that time frame. Now, the thing is there's still so much demand, and so there's a small window when I think that sellers are going to do really well in this small window. But I think that window is going to shut because right now the Fed's talking about another 0.5% Fed rate increase in June, another 0.5% Fed increase in July. Some economists are going to be pushing for a 0.75% Fed rate increase. Well, just for kicks and giggles, I did the math on my current house. I have it 2.25%. I'm really happy. It's 2.25% is the house. I have on a 30-year fix to the house I live in now. If I borrowed that same money that I borrowed then now, my payment goes up by $800 to $900 a month.
Ooh.
And that's just the change in what interest impacts.
Right.
So it's. I think that I think the rental market's going to stay strong. I don't think you're going to be able to. I think the places where you have rent control, like California, Oregon, Washington, I think landlords will continue to raise rents according to what they're allowed to. But I don't think. I think it's just going to cost a lot of money. So now you have at the prices of where houses are. You want to buy that house that I don't know if that's the same house you have, but the house you first had when I met you. I mean, That house, you think how much money somebody has to have down to buy that house now. I mean, you have to you guys bought that when you're relatively young, right? So if that same young couple went forward in time and was to try to buy your house you live in now, the amount of money they would have to have just to get a loan on it is pretty high amount. And when you have inflation, it's harder for people to save for a down payment. Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
So I think rental stuff is going to continue to do well. I just think that there's going to be. I think it's going to just slow, and I think that's the goal of the Fed too, is to get it so that you don't have such hot markets. I don't know if that's what you were asking me or not, but that's kind of my take. I do like. I think places like people are going to since housing and inflation cost so much around where they work, they are going to be looking for places to go. I think that I looked at places like Florida or Pocatello, Idaho. I mean, those are areas that are you can still get a pretty inexpensive house. But and I think that with the way the world is more digital, people are going to be like, you know what? I don't want to work in Los Angeles. I'll just go move to Pocatello, Idaho. I don't have the beach or nothing, but I'll save enough money on my house that, once every 6 months I can just get on a plane and go on vacation. I don't need to live in a nice, I just need to be able to afford a place. I don't know. That's just my own thoughts.
Gotcha. So Rick,
but your thoughts are the ones that are amazing.
No, not at all.
You're the expert here.
No,
Jeez.
Not at all, Rick. I've definitely learned so much from you, and thank you so much for being there since the beginning of time that I started my journey. And I don't think anybody knows my journey Obviously more than you, Rick, because you were there when we had the hair extension kiosk. You were here. You were there when I was trying to get a loan, trying to start my my first fix and flip, and going through all the drama, the prima donna. Got the guy to come out, cut the tree. Rick, I still feel so bad that I really want to reach back out to Roderick again and try to see how I'm able to help him in any way. But
well, you know, and that was the thing that I really liked about that time, right? Is you had people like you had Roderick who wanted a second chance, right? Unfortunately, I think he made some personal life decisions that took him kind of out of the arena. But
sure,
but that's what was so great about it, was like meeting you and then matching you up with other people. I mean, even Mark Meeker gave you some good advice, and you were able to, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And so that was what was so fun about, I guess, that time, which is the early 2012 when you and I kind of met. It was really just bringing those, you know, that whole thing together, and then you just soaked up like a sponge. You took and I think that's one of the key things people don't realize about how you get as successful as you did, is you would listen to everybody. And then you'd be like, well, I'll take this part of what they said, but I don't really want to listen to that part of what they said, because you wanted to keep everything super positive.
Yep.
So you would take the positive pieces, and then you would just kind of like focus on the positive things you can do, not necessarily the negative things. And you were really eager to, and you listened. You were a listener. You listened to everybody around you, and then you just kind of went back, and you and Lon would talk about it, and then you guys would take those leaps of faith that, I mean, honestly, I didn't have the courage to do.
No, Rick, I appreciate it. Rick, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad that I was able to get to know you and Jenny and the whole entire family and all that. So I truly appreciate that. But I do have a question now, Rick. So what do you think? So let's just say that people that have some extra cash sitting in the bank, do you think that this is a good time for them to buy, or should they hold? Should they wait? Like, kind of like, what's your thought on that?
Okay, this is just my personal opinion. The thing is I, you know, right now, it goes back to what the person wants, right? What are they looking for? Are they looking for a long-term cash flow? Like, they're to say, you know, like more like retirement planning or something like that. Like, hey, you know, I want to buy real estate now because I can rent it out. And it's going to generate so much of additional income for me a month. I think if you were in that frame, then if the mindset, then yeah, I think, you know, I think grabbing something in a place that is going to potentially grow, like I joke about Pocatello, Idaho, or something like that.
Yeah,
is probably that's probably would be a really good place to buy some investment property. As far as I think that there are people who make mistakes, Khang, and I think you know that from how you got started, and to be able to have cash to capitalize when that pressure happens is a good deal. I just talked to someone else on the phone, and I was joking. They were asking, like, well, how long do you think this inflation thing will last? And I said, well, here's the deal. Nobody's putting their $100,000 jacked up trucks for sale yet, right? I mean, so evidently they're still paying that high gas prices, and they're not at the pinch point where they're putting them for sale. Where if you go back to 2008, 2009, guess what? There were people selling stuff. And so I think things are still good, because we aren't to the point where people are like, you know, desperate selling, right? So, however, consumer debt is also increasing and stuff. I mean, I don't know. For me, I mean, I should be asking advice from you, Khang, honestly.
Oh, stop, Rick.
Like, well, what do you think you should be doing? I'm, as a banker, I'm naturally going to be way more conservative than probably. And you know what? I probably missed out on some good opportunities, because I'm just like, I'd dip my toe in and I'd be like, ooh, that's too cold of water. I'm not going to go in there.
Right.
Where you do the polar bear plunge.
The polar bear plunge. And I got to say, sometimes the polar bear plunge gets you in pretty big trouble.
Oh, well, no, I don't. I mean, I think it's kind of interesting, because you're going to see, we have not, if you were to look at a chart of where, like even the rate where rates have, it's 10 years, our rates have been near record lows for
Yep.
10 years. No, there's people who have businesses. I have a large company that I bank and stuff like that, and I just did a loan for them, and they said it's the highest interest rate they ever had.
Yep.
And I'm like, and it's a really low interest rate that they're getting. It's in the 4s. It's 4.5, but still they're like, oh, that's so high. I'm like, look, rates have been low for so
Yep.
long. So, I don't know. It's gonna be. It's just different times.
Rick, do you think that the interest rates do you think that interest rates going to go up more, like in the 6 or the 7?
I think interest rates can go up to
8%.
Before this time next year. Yeah.
Wow. Now,
and
what
when you say interest rates, I'm talking like that's traditional, like 30-year, no
Yep.
points.
Correct.
No.
Correct.
I mean, so if you were to buy a residential house and you were
Yep.
to do, I want no points, no discount points. I'm not
Right.
buying the rate down, no origination fee.
Yep.
Yeah, I think 8%, it could go up that high. I
Woo.
don't think it would go higher than that, but I think it could go up that high.
So what do you think would happen once the interest rate hits up to like that 8% or so?
Well, I think it's kind of what I said earlier. I think what you'll happen is you'll have, I think the real estate market, there's so much demand for real estate that I don't think it'll go back. I don't think you'll see it go like the last recession. The last
Right.
recession was kind of driven by a bubble bursting.
Correct.
It popped, and that kind of created like a big, and it really affected primarily businesses that were around the real estate industry. So
Yep.
it was banks, it was like construction companies, it was, it really was real estate, it really hurt mostly real estate people, right? If you were a dentist or a doctor, or you worked in some other manufacturing and tech industry, that big recession from 2008, 2009, a lot of people kind of got through it pretty good.
Yep.
So anyways, that's just kind of, but this time I think this recession is going to kind of resemble some of them. Like if you look at history of what they looked like in the 80s and stuff,
Yep.
and I think you're just going to affect all businesses, all industries, because it's affecting everybody's supply chain. Everybody's costs are going up. Food costs are going up. All this stuff is happening. And so they're going to raise rates to try to cool that down. And I think when that happens, you're going to see real estate kind of flatline more so than rapid appreciation.
Makes sense.
I mean, I have a house that I sold for $530,000, and I just looked in, just out of curiosity, on Zillow they have it at 1.1 million. It's like, geez, I should have never sold that, right?
Yeah.
Now it's not going to sustain. It's not going to sustain that appreciation isn't
Yep.
going to be sustained.
Makes sense.
It's not going to be like 7 years from now. It's not going to be worth 1.5 or $2 million. It's very unlikely that's going to be the case. So.
Makes sense. Thank you so much, Rick, for dropping all that knowledge. Appreciate it.
Oh, Khang, I just like calling and talking to you. I haven't heard from you in a long time. And then when I heard that you have a Ferrari, that just cracked me up. I remember you were in that little Honda, that beat up Honda, and you had your little, it almost looked like you used crayons to write that little sticker on the side of your car that says "We buy houses," and you showed up.
Rick, I mean, honestly, looking back, that was so crazy that I even got phone call from just putting magnets and that's little stickers on the side of my Honda.
And I remember you going to like meeting with those people that were porters and saying, "I'll buy your house. Don't worry. I'll clean your house for you. Just let me buy it. I'll let you live there for 3 months." What a genius. Most people wouldn't. I mean, that was the genius, is you were sat down on the couch with them. You talked to them. You said, "Hey, I'll buy your house from you. I'll pay cash." And then you say, "I'll give you a couple months to move out. Don't worry about your trash." And even though the realtor, I remember the story, I remember really well. The realtor was telling the same family, like, "Hey, I can get you more money for your house, but you need to clean it out. You need to get all this junk out of there."
Yep.
Well, that was just not realistic for them to do that. And so you did it. And that's another thing when people say, "Oh, wow, what a great deal Khang did." But the truth of the matter is guess who had to arrange getting all that plate clean? You had to clean that plate. You had to do the work.
Yep.
It was like you sat down there, you made an emotional connection with the people, you followed through with what you said, and voila, there you are. And so you did really, really well on that deal, if I remember right.
Yes,
and then you rolled that over to something else. So you've done really good.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Rick. But Say hi to Jenny, Rick. I'll send over the pictures, and you let me know.
Did you drive the car to Florida, or did you fly to Florida?
No,
I mean, Arizona.
Yeah, we flew to Arizona, but we flew to Arizona.
Well, I'd love to get together with you and Lon again sometime.
Sure. For sure, Rick.
We're not high rollers like you.
Oh, stop it!
I don't drive anything fancy.
Oh, stop it, Rick! Stop it. So, Rick, I will. Rick, we will definitely have to connect and figure out a vacation spot so we can go hang. So we can go hang out with each other again for sure.
Well, you know what? Hey, how about this? Instead of just sending me the picture, I won't say anything to Jenny. You send the picture of the car and you or something. When you get a chance, and send it to me and Jenny.
Gotcha.
And surprise Jenny, because you will make her happy, and she'll laugh, and she'll be. Because, like I said, you two are just amazing.
Oh.
And, like I said, and you have to promise. You have to go up to Lon, and I want you to give her the biggest hug you can.
Will do.
I mean, if you have to stand on a chair, go ahead. Give her a big hug. And say this is from Rick.
Will do, Rick. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rick.
All right, and tell her she should have took me car shopping with her to get your. Jeez Louise, I feel hurt.
Thank you so much, Rick. For helping me with the first my first supercar. It was the Lexus, and that car changed the game for me. I've never been in such a luxury car, and I remember
Did you get rid of that car? Is that car gone?
No. It's actually still there. We still got.
Maybe I'll save up and buy it from you.
Oh, stop it, Rick! It's probably
that'd be great. That'd be like, because I'd have to have you sign the hood or something.
Yeah.
Khang on the hood, and I'll just buy that car from you.
Oh, stop it! Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, if I do buy it, you have to sign the hood.
Will do. Thank you.
With a big Sharpie, and then I'll just never ever have it, and I'd have it clear coated over that.
Oh, stop!
So it would never go away. And that way, people say, "Oh, it looks like somebody graffitied on your car." I'm like, "No, don't you touch that. That's a very important signature."
Will do. Thank you,
my good friend Khang.
Thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate all the kind words. Thank you so much, and look forward to hang out with you and Jenny again.
All right, bye.
Yep, bye, Rick. Thank you so much. All right, so let me catch you guys up to date. So Rick is one of the vice president at one of the biggest banks. So when I first met him, he wasn't at like a national bank. He was more of a local community bank, and he was the vice president that actually gave me the opportunities, because at that time nobody was loaning. Like all the bank, they're very strict on loaning to new investors trying to get into the whole fix and flip game. We sat down. I brought my mentor with me, and went in there. So let me give you, those of you who still on here with me, let me give you some advice when you want to work with bank. The one thing you want to do is you don't want to work with big bank, like Bank of America, like big national bank. Like you don't want to work with them, okay? You want to find your local small community bank, all right? This is key, because your small local community bank will want to help you, and they will want to work with you. You're not just another person when you walk into their bank. You are someone. They remember your name, and they will treat you properly, okay? And how I know this, because my bank now, like when I want to do a transfer, when I want to do whatever, I just pick up the phone and I call them, or when I just go through a drive-through, I just drop off the check and I just go. Like there's like, because you're small local community bank, it's all about that relationship building, and that's key. And when you do walk into the bank, just get straight to the point and talk to the manager or the vice president of that bank if you can, right? Because you just want to go straight to that person and then build relationship. So when I first started with Rick, Lon and I took him and his wife to Mexico. We went to a vacation together. Every Christmas I'll send him gifts and things like that. So that's what things that you want to do to start building that relationship and that connections. And whether it's a banker or whether it's you trying to go to a mastermind, high-end networking, or whatever it is, sometimes we got to buy our way into this circle, right? And so those are things that I do, that I did when I first started. So for those of you, when I first started, I thought I want to go to big bank because they got the money and all that, but I was completely wrong. Go to your local small community bank, build relationships so they get to know who you are, and things like that. And that's going to be your best bet for your future, for your long-term investment, right? Because when you want to start buying investment property, you can get on the phone with them. They got all your information, a few conversation back and forth, and boom, like they'll get stuff done for you. And all, and the bank that helps me now, we're investing back into them. So we got the money sitting in their bank. It allows them to, loan out more to more people, etc. So yeah. Anyways, got 1 week later, take actions. What mastermind are you a part of? So school me. So I'm a part of a real estate mastermind called Collective Genius. So if you want to know who they are, Google them, Collective Genius. There's currently about 300 something people that's in there, but you typically it's definitely invites, right? Invite only, and you have to go through a qualification process. It's very strict. You got to do at least 75 deals a year, right? You have to do at least 75 deals a year. And so I'm in this mastermind and been in it for almost 4 years. These are where some of the biggest real estate investors comes together under one roof. Some of these guys and gals that are in there, they're doing between $500,000 to $1 million plus a month, like half to $1 million plus a month. Like even some guys are doing a couple million a month. Like these are very, very big power player. So I am probably one of the smallest fish in the tank, and I think it's good. It's good that you are the smallest fish in the tank. It's because you can learn from other people. But I can tell you one thing, that I'm the biggest when it comes to in that group, is I got the biggest following, and I'm proud of that because of your guys' help. Thank you so much for the love, for the support. So far across all of my social media, I have about 4 million a total, roughly about in followers. So they make more, but I got more followers. And the people that are in there, man, I can tell you, like, you think they're cocky and they might be hard to approach, but some people in there are extremely sweet. They're extremely sweet. They're extremely kind, extremely open to helping you. Because that's what Mastermind is all about. You got to be vulnerable. So you go in there. Typically, we have so we meet every quarter, and you go in there and you pretty much just share everything about your business. What's working, what's not working, what you need help on, and what you can give back to everyone in the community. Now, talking about Mastermind, this is why I launched TMC. For those of you who don't know, I am launching my own NFT project, and we're planning to launch it at the end of May. If you haven't known yet, the end of this month, and here's how you can be a part of this. So TMC stand for the Millionaire Club. So what I'm doing is I'm blending NFT and real estate together to create a community of millionaires. These are where some of the most driven and ambitious entrepreneurs come together under one roof, and mainly for real estate investing. And the goal is to help you become one of those millionaires eventually. And my goal and how I'm planning to do that is that, most people that get started in real estate, they have a hard time succeeding because you don't have the tools, the knowledge, the connections, the relationships, the training, the support. Well, I'm going to give you all of that. So I'm going to share with you my team, my systems, the training, the knowledge. And for those of you who wants to get into fix and flip, I'm also going to share with you, all right, my private harmony lender that lend across in any states, all 50 states. They're going to lend your fix and flip, or maybe you want to buy, fix and hold. They'll also lend that as well. If you want to do a transactional funding where you want to buy the property and just put it back on the market and hotel it, they can do short-term and long-term loan for you as well. So I'm giving you access like this. So the guy, that private harmony lender, is in my CG. They only want to work with like big player. But I told them, hey, this is what I'm doing with my community. Would you guys, would you be involved? And just because that I'm a part of the mastermind. So I paid $25,000 to go to this mastermind. And this is what it's about. You see, when you pay X amount to go to a mastermind, it's really about the relationship and the connections that you're going to build. Because one relationship, one connections, honestly can change your business. And it happens to me. I witnessed it right in front of my eyes. So I'm bringing them into TMC NFT and making this exclusive offer only, all right, for my TMC NFT community. So when I say I'm giving you access to my system and to my team, what I mean is that let's just say you jump on and you'll be like, hey, Khang, I got this property in a contract, but I need help finding a cash buyer. Boom. My VA will pull a cash buyer list for you. And it's not from prop streams. It's not from, it's this, the tools that I'm using, the program that I'm using costs a lot of money. And most regular average investor cannot afford to pay for this program because it costs a lot. But I'm willing to share that program and my team with you. So which means you got to prop in a contract and you'll be like, hey, Khang, I need help pulling a cash buyer list. You submit a ticket and then boom, my VA will jump on, right? We'll pull the list, we'll pull the cash buyer list and then email it over to you. So you get support from that. Also, too, is maybe you talk to a seller and you're like, hey, Khang, I don't know how to actually lock property up in the contract, and I'm having a hard time doing it over the phone. Problem solved. I'm going to provide you with TMC Pro Closer. The TMC Pro Closer has been vet, has been trained, and has been audited, right, by me, that they qualify to jump on the phone and help you lock that property on the contract. And you can do it completely virtual. And I know for those of you who don't know that I've been virtually wholesaling for the past 5 years. You know, I've been in the real estate game for over 10 years now, but since the past 5 years, when I mean virtual wholesaling, is you don't need to meet the seller, you don't need to see the property, you don't need to meet the buyer. Like everything can be done over the phone and over the internet. So I'm going to provide that to you as well. Also, too, is we're gonna do real life event where we do meetup, we do mastermind, we also do mastermind in the metaverse and in person as well. So every year I'm going to hold a big real estate event for 3 years, one time a year, really big. And then I'll bring some of the biggest, real estate investor speaker, right? And then as long as you hold on to the NFT, you get to come for free. Also, too, is that before we launch the event, let's just say 3 months before that, we're going to airdrop you a pass, right? An event pass. And let's just say if you can't make it to the event, well, guess what, my friend? You can lend or you can sell the event pass to someone that can go. All right. So I am launching my first TMC NFT collections at the end of this month. All right. There's only going to be about 410 of these that's going to be minted. And the price we're starting at right now for our whitelist community is at 1.2 ETH. Okay, so I know ETH is going down right now, but if I talk in US, it's going to cost about $3,500. And if that sounds like something that you guys are interested in, what you need to do is hit me up on Twitter and on Discord. So let me punch it in here. But for those of you watching this later, I'll make sure I'll put it in the descriptions. But yeah, hold on a second. So let me put it in here so you can hit me up on Twitter. So it's just my Twitter is realkingkong.com. But let me tell you what TMC is truly about and who it's really for. Let me tell you what it's truly about, all right, and who it's really for. So TMC NFT is not one of those NFT projects where you be like, hey, Khang, I want to join and I just want to make an extra $5, $10, $20, $30 a day. That is not what TMC NFT is about. My goal is to help you make 10, 20, 30, 40, 100,000 a month. So you still got to put in a massive amount of work, and the community is going to give you the help, the support, the guidance, the training, the knowledge, the relationship, the connection, right, to help you become the next real estate millionaires. So it's not about, oh, I want to buy the NFT because I want to get that $10, $20 passive income a day. It's not what TMC is about. It's about me giving you all exclusive access that I have built over the past 10 years. My team, my system, my program, my tools, my connections, my relationships with real big player, and sharing that with you. And the goal, once again, the goal is to help you make 10, 20, 30, 100,000 a month. That is the goal of TMC NFT. But our roadmap in the future, yes, we do want to create something where our holder can stake the NFT and earn that baby money, earn that 5, 10, whatever it is, right? That's the roadmap. That's the game plan in the future that we would like to do. But I want you guys to understand that this project is a hands-on project. This project is to train you to have a high income skills, to help you build your own real estate empire. And then you can take the money from you make from your business that we have helped you build, and you can go buy rental property, go buy real estate, and we can show you how to buy rental property as well. Like TMC will be the central hub of real estate investing, not just wholesaling, fix and flip, rental property, doing the BRRRR strategies. Like we'll show you all of that. So let me see if you guys have any question. What's the price for TMC? Once again, school me. It is not going to be one of those cheap NFT. It's going to start at around 1.2 ETH. The day that we decided to say that it's going to be at 1.2 ETH, roughly the price is going to be at about $3,500. All right, so $3,500 for people that is on my whitelist. So if you want to get on TMC whitelist, which means you get to buy this before it hits the open market, because when we put it on OpenSea, it's going to be at 2 ETH. And for those of you who don't know how to buy NFT, you might want to spend some time, go on to YouTube, watch YouTube, how to set your wallet up and how to buy NFT, because to me, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. And if you're able to buy it at mint price for that cheap, to me, the value that you're going to get, so everything I mentioned to you is happening on day one. Like on day one, when you buy TMC NFT, you will get all these that we mentioned: access to my team, my systems, the private Harmony lenders, the connections, all my cash buyer. So you can hit me up on Twitter or my Discord. If you want to go to tmcnftproject.com, you can also check it out on there as well. That will be my Discord channel, or you can hit me up on Twitter. It's Real King Kong. So my Twitter is Real King Kong. How long do we have access to TMC if we join? So school for me. So the TMC is going to be for 3 years. All right. But after 3 years, I'm not going to let the project die. We will create something new, right, for the TMC NFT holder. That I can promise you. Okay. So my game plan is, and this is something that my attorney said that I can't say too much about the project because there's things I can and cannot say. But what I like to do, all right, I'm not promising anything, but what I like to do is that in the future, right, that me and my TMC NFT holder will be able to do business together. For example, let's just say that I just closed on a wholesale deal. So we just got this one property under contract, and I'm gonna make about $150,000 on this one property. So here's something that I envision that I would like to do for my community. And all I can say is those who invest in me, I will invest back in you. Those who believe in me, I'll give it right back to you. But once again, I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying this is something that I would like to do, and it could happen. So let's just say I close on a big wholesale deal. Well, what if, right? I said, hey, drop your ETH address and I'll send you a surprise gift. That is something that I have already done in my TMC whitelist already. It's not a whole lot, but I'm just saying that's something that I would like to do. And not just that, but many more stuff. Once again, in the future, if things get, like I would like us to work together. And once again, my attorney said I can't say too much about it because it's gonna, like, there's things I can and cannot say. But if you're in my if you're in TMC whitelist, I'm pretty much trying to be as transparent as possible, and I want to share everything. Trust me, I don't want to keep any secret from you. I want to be transparent. I want to share everything. It's just that there's things that I cannot say, because if I say it, then someone will capture it and then they'll use it against me later when I'm not supposed to say. So, anyways, there you go. It's now a good time to wholesale. Toxic wholesaling, it doesn't matter if the market up or the market's down, flat. It doesn't matter what the market do. Wholesaling is always be a good time to get into, because you're not buying, you're not fixing the property, so you're not putting all your money at risk. All I can say is for those of you right now who is fix and flip, if you're fix and flip, I highly recommend that you need to start stacking up your cash, that you need to start putting some reserve aside, and you need to start have some safety net, because things can get nasty. And if you're doing 3 flip, 5 flip, 10 flip at a time, and you don't have enough reserve, I'm telling you, wake up the next day, the market tank about 10, 20%. You're not going to be able to finish your project enough, all right, to get out and under. And it happens in 08. It happens in 2009. Investors are going bankrupt left and right because some of these people, you know, when the market was really good, they were just buying things up. They're not buying it at a discount. It's just over leveraging. So right now, for those of you who fix and flip, I highly suggest that you need to consider to start stacking your cash. And I would slow down. I would slow down just to kind of see what the market's going to do if I were to fix and flip. But for us as a wholesaler, we don't stop, baby, right? We wake up the next day, the market crashed 20%. I call the seller back and I say, hey, you know what? Got the property under contract for $100,000. I'm sorry, the market just went 20% down and under. We still love to buy your property, but here's our new offer to you. And you let us know if it works for you or something that you can make it work or not. And if they can't, you cancel the contract. That's it. If they say, yes, we would love to work with you, then extend the contract and obviously try and find a buyer. And that's the beauty of wholesaling. Okay, so for those of you who's interested in being a part of TMC NFT, hit me up on my Twitter and my Discord. Go to tmcnftproject.com. My Twitter is at Real King Kong. And if you enjoyed this video, you guys, if this add value to you, please show your boy King Kong some love. Boom! Smash that thumbs up. I truly, really appreciate it. I know I haven't been going live on YouTube a lot just because I've been spending so much time, so much effort, with TMC NFT Project, trying to make it the best it can be for the people that's going to invest their hard-earned working money into this project. Right now, I'm at one of my Airbnb in Arizona, and also too is this Airbnb. I'm at one of my Airbnb property. But for example, like I would have property, or I would have properties in different in different states. And for those of you who have TMC NFT, you get to come and you get to stay, and you just get to come and stay. So that's another perk that we are adding right to our TMC to our NFT project, is you get to stay at any property that I buy now and any property that I buy in the future. And you just get to come and stay. I'll hit you up on Discord, Khang. I'm interested. Carlos, that's great. So, Carlos, let me ask you a question before, because I want to make sure that we're on the same page. And I don't want to waste your time or my time or that, Carlos. So, Carlos, my question to you is, do you know how much is NFT that I'm dropping? So comment down below if you know. But, Carlos, if you know the price and you're like, hey, Khang, I feel like this is for me, I want to be part of the community, DM me on Discord. I love to get you onto TMC whitelist, because the community that we have built already just in our whitelist, I'm telling you, some of these people are already building relationship. They're already doing deals together. They're already planning like for a meetup in real life event. Also too is another thing that we're planning to do with TMC NFT is that we are going to buy some property some land in the metaverse. And I'm going to hire people to build out the metaverse. And then we'll allow our NFT holder to go in there to mastermind and to network as well. But any meetup, any mastermind, any event that I go, you get to come along with me. So yeah. What am I? Okay, so the first collection to TMC, there's only going to be 410 of them that's going to be mint. And for those who buy the first collection, and when I launch my second collection, which is obviously you get way less in perks, but when I launch my second collections, those who buy the first collections will get airdropped the second collections completely for free. So you get one of the other one completely for free. I'm going to try on discord.com. Don't know about NFT, but I'll watch your video. I know it's 30. Carlos, done. So Carlos, DM me, dude. Carlos, thank you so much for being a part of the Discord family, man. Truly appreciate it. So, Carlos, DM me. Dude, DM me. Yeah, Carlos, I don't know what's your what your Discord name is. If it's Carlos, that's great. DM me, Carlos, and I'll have you open a ticket, and then I'll get my NFT project manager get you a VIP pass into our whitelist. Okay, bro? Because how are you doing? I'm very good. Hey, Khang, what's your tips on probate? What? I gotta go. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna answer this one question because it's a good one. Khang, what's your tip on probate leads? How can I capitalize on it? Great, good questions. So probate is a very, very good list, and a lot of people said, "Hey, Khang, when I call probate list, it's a very sensitive topic and this and that. Like, how do I maneuver myself?" So what you want to do is you just want to act like normal. I don't care if you call them when they're if they're in foreclosure. If I don't care if you call them if they have, someone pass away, probates or deceased or any of that. You want to make sure that you don't want the other person to feel uncomfortable. So just act like normal. I typically call and say, "Hey, my name is Khang. I work with a group of investors, and I just want to see if you have a house or property that you might be interested in selling or getting a free, no risk, no obligation cash offer." And once they open to you and they're like, "Hey, you know what? I actually do. I got a property here. My dad just, this and this and that, or, pass away, whatever. And I might consider, selling that." And then obviously you want to go in there and obviously you want to build the connections and you want to say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that," and this and all that. But don't you don't need to call and say, "Hey, I heard that you just lost a loved one." Dude, it's like that's not good. Like, they now know that they felt like you're targeting them. Like you like they felt like that. Like, you already know what's happening. It's better to act like you don't know what happened. Let them tell you what happened, build the relationship, and then close on them. Okay. Okay. Anyways, you guys, thank you for those of you who's able to join me live. Once again, if you enjoy this little live streams and if it does add some value to you, please show your boy King Khang some love. Boom! Smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Wholesale to Million family. Be sure to boom, smash that subscribe button. Also, is turn on the bell notification so when I upload a new video or when I go live, you get notified. Comment down below with any question you have. I want to wrap this up by saying, for those of you who right now, don't know if it's a good time to buy or it's a good time to sell, right? Let's just say that you're into the whole good time to buy, good time to sell. I highly suggest that you need to make sure that you have reserve. Stack some cash aside. Don't over leverage. Make sure you're being more conservative now. For those of you who buy, fix, and flip, be more conservative when you put in an offer. All right. Because you want to make sure that you have reserve to overcome whatever it's going to happen or about to happen. But anyways, you guys, take care. Until next time. Ciao.